called the Facebook portal. Does anyone here trust Facebook?
Other than the fact that we're tech nerds.
Nope, I don't think I'm gonna upgrade. And both of you did in like a week.
Yeah, an accessible thought bubble.
So do you have a smart phonograph, Jeff? What the heck is that?
Google's your friend. Look it up.
So you want a smart shadow?
Yeah.
So having these smart devices, they are truly game changers.
Silver.
Space gray.
Gold.
I smell smoke. Is your nest going off, Jeff?
See what happens when you tell me I'm getting fat?
I said you could grow into that Blind Abilities t-shirt. And boom, music comes on and 6 sheets of toilet paper pop out.
Exactly. All right, you guys ready? I'm not going to count down. I'm going to make you look for when we started. Good luck.
3, 2,
No.
1.
Nope. All right, I will count down. I'll be nice. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Tech Abilities. This is Serina Gilbert, and I am, of course, joined with Jeff Thompson and Andy Munoz. Jeff, how are you?
Sorry.
Apparently, Jeff is choking.
I'm doing great, Serena. Glad to be back.
We haven't been around for a while now, but we are back, and we have a great episode. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually glad to be back.
And Andy's not choking, for the record.
No choking here.
Ouch.
Ouch. You'll be okay, Jeff. You're a big boy. So have you guys heard about the latest news about Facebook?
Oh, do tell.
Apparently, they have a new smart device coming out called the Facebook portal.
I got a feeling somebody's watching
Right?
me.
Cue the Michael Jackson song. There we go.
Perfect timing, Jeff, as usual. Everything about it is ironic, from the name of it to what all the press surrounding it. I mean, it's called the Facebook portal. So theoretically, I know what they were going for there. Like, it's like you're in the same room. But does anyone here trust Facebook?
How about you, Andy? Do you trust Facebook?
Can you trust anything?
Right.
I mean, honestly, but yet we still use it. And the way I look at it is I don't put something out there that I don't want somebody to know, because even with locking it down and doing all that stuff, there's people, they want it where there's a will, there's a way. So don't put nothing out there that I don't want nobody to see.
Well, yeah, the weird thing about Facebook is there's already a theory that we think Facebook listens to us when we're not in it. Because we've tested this. Start talking about childcare, and all of a sudden you're going to have every childcare center ad in your newsfeed that you've ever wanted to see.
Yep.
So there's something to it. I really do think that there's something that they're listening to. So imagine putting that in your living room where they're not only able to listen, but see what you're doing.
Ooh. Yeah, we can really paint this into a corner if we want to. But when you look at other companies such as Target and Home Depot and various other ones on the internet that have had hacks exposing people's identification and personal information, it's inevitable that stuff like this is going to happen, I imagine. And it seems like when something like this happens to Facebook, it seems like it really gets a lot of attention.
Well, usually if you have a big name and something happens, we've all got these high expectations, so then they lose credibility. But I mean, it really can happen to anybody.
Well, let's hear about the specs on this Facebook portal and then tell me what you guys think about it too. Because it's kind of funny when you think about it. So there's 2 different versions. There's like the standard one, it'll be $199. And the Portal Plus, as they call it, is a much larger screen. And then it's an HD, and that'll be $349. Both of them say that the camera essentially will follow you as you're talking to somebody or video chatting with them. They initially said that no data was going to be stored and that everything was nice and secure. They then came back and said, but wait, we will use the information to target ads to you. Yeah. So the camera's following you in the room and they're targeting ads to you. Still like it? I don't know.
Regardless of whether you like it or not, I mean, there's just no getting away from it. I mean, because you get the ads even on Facebook itself. I can go right now and I could do a search on Amazon for smart home devices, and I can guarantee you as soon as I click into Facebook, it's going to show me what I last searched for. For me, it's more or less going to be about what all can it do? What are all the different features? What's going to sell it to me that's going to allow me to really overlook that targeting commercial stuff to me?
So you're not taking it off your Christmas list yet?
I wouldn't say I would take it off. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to get away from that stuff as much as you'd like to, as much as I'd like to. it's there. At this point, again, it's going to go back to what are the features? What's going to make me want to buy this thing that I can't do with another device?
Yeah. Jeff, do you have this on your shopping list?
No, I don't have it on my Christmas list yet, but I should get that started. The thing is, with all these different devices and ecosystems out there, I'm starting to wondering if someone should start with one ecosystem and stick with just one. Such as yourself, what benefits does the Facebook portal have over your Amazon show?
I don't think it offers anything different because they both do the video chatting. The screen does appear to be a little bit larger on the Facebook portal. I think that the entry-level price on it is cheaper because the Amazon show is, I believe, $229 and the Facebook portal would be starting at $199. So there's a $30 difference there. But it's really funny because I saw the ad on Facebook, of course, and the comments, I just had to read the comments because they were so funny. And everyone's like, so why can't I just FaceTime?
Yeah,
You
right?
know? So you're offering me a speaker that you say I can make all these calls on. I can just do that on my phone already. So what's the point? Because they're not boosting that it has this awesome sound quality. They're not advertising that it's smart. You know, I guess it will have Alexa built into it. Sorry, guys. It will have the A-Lady built into it. But why would you spend the money on a third-party device to have the A-Lady when you can get that straight from Amazon anyway?
The other part of it too is you can actually video chat via Facebook Messenger, just depending upon what device you're using. You know, if I'm sitting at my computer, I've already got a 19-inch HD display. So why would I want to invest in something different? Other than the fact that we're tech nerds and we like to know these things and we never know when we're going to run across something where we're going to have to maybe troubleshoot something like that. That would be maybe a sole purpose.
Well, I think that Facebook is coming late into the game in this. I mean, the newness of the new products coming out, everyone wanted to experiment, to explore these new gadgets and gadgets. And now we've all have probably multiple ecosystems in our house. You might have a Google or an Amazon or an Apple device going right now. Is it time right now to add one more to the mix that we have in our house? That, you know, sometimes I think it's not doing exactly what I thought it would. So I think people are being desensitized from the thrill of it all. The newness of these type of gadgets, and Facebook just is a little late into the game.
Yeah, it always makes you wonder, is there really room on my shelf for one more smart device? Like, where would I even put it? You know?
Mm-hmm. I wonder what we're going to have to say to invoke the Facebook portal, Mr. Senator or Yo Zucker.
You say, and does this sound at all familiar? Hey, portal.
Really?
Yes. Which those of us who are super lucky enough to have HomePods.
Super lucky.
Super lucky.
Super lucky.
Lucky. We know what the wake word is for that. Very similar.
It'd be funny if it was Mr. Senator. Yes, Senator.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Senator.
And what kind of responses does it give if you call it the wrong name?
I have no idea. It's not out until what, November? Mid-November?
It says November. It doesn't even have a specific date. It just says November. But I predict, I think this is going to be a big, huge flop for Facebook. I think this is going to be a lot of lost money because who knows how many they've already produced. They'll probably sell like maybe 100,000, which is nothing when there's like how many billion users on Facebook.
Yeah, and plus the fact when I looked it up, I think if 10 things came up when I did my search, 9 of them were about, is this a good idea? Should they pull the plug now? Should they save their costs? Are the stocks falling on Facebook? And do you trust Facebook to secure this information that it's gathering? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be on my Christmas list, Serina.
I know one thing that I keep trying to get you to add to the Christmas list, but I don't know if you will.
What's that?
Well, remember I told my bestie that you wanted a HomePod.
Oh, and you want to go to CSUN.
You know it.
That's coming up. That's coming around. That's around the corner.
Better get to planning.
The more we talk, the closer it gets.
There's a really good Christmas gift right there. Andy can go too.
Hey.
There you go.
We'll get in all kinds of trouble. It's in Anaheim this time.
Someone's got to run that Colorado show out there, though.
We'll be okay.
We'll survive.
A new device that's out from Google is the Google Home Hub. Yeah, the Google Home Hub.
They needed a better name for that one.
I was wondering if this is the answer to anybody out there that has collected a few devices, one for your Google Home, it works on there, one works on the Amazon device. If this is the answer that will solve some of the problems of bringing everything together.
So how does the hub work? I don't fully understand it.
Okay, a hub is also known as a bridge, and what it is a central location device that actually can control all the different smart devices that you have located throughout your house. So if you have smart plugs, smart switches, smart doorbells, smart thermostat, you can actually connect them up all to one spot, which is a hub, and then access that. And typically what people do is access it through like an iPad or something, so they have one control. And from there you can set up groups, you can set up different modes for things to be on that come on at certain time, go off at certain times. You can group lights together. You can have full control over all these devices in one location rather than using the TP app, the Wemo app, and the Nest app and figure out everything out. So you can actually tie them all together. And that's what a hub/bridge does. And the HomeKit app that Apple has put out is something that is trying to become a bridge for the, in your Wi-Fi system to tie all these together. Now, you got to remember that everything has to be able to reach the Wi-Fi system. You might have a plug or a switch far enough away where your Wi-Fi isn't that great, so you'll have to do an extender. Whereas, you can get pretty elaborate. You can go into the Z-Wave system, which actually every device that's hooked up becomes a little transmitter too, so it can chain link all these together so it can reach a further distance. So interesting stuff once you get into the high end of smart homes. But as for affordability and everything, I think Google Home Hub is an idea. It might be something that works good for you, but I think HomeKit really has the advantage here and Wi-Fi in the future if you're just talking about adding some conveniences to your house and not really going into the major planning of a full day operation of automation going on. Shades open, lights on, mood setting, thermostat adjust, and someday turn on stereo system, play phonograph, set the mood. The possibilities could be endless. You can do some of that with HomeKit, but basically that's what a hub/bridge does. It ties everything together under one physical device that you can access and control everything.
I'm just so distracted because I'm pretty sure you said phonograph.
He did say phonograph.
What the heck is that?
It's a record player.
So do you have a smart phonograph, Jeff?
I'm just saying, there probably is one. You could get one to skip and,
Yeah, to get it to do some scratching,
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff, you are definitely the old man right now.
Well, it's funny because my kids now into buying vinyls, and I'm like, why are they even still making those? And come to find out, they're making record players again.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 record players, and I collected albums back in the day, and I still have them, and they're popular again. It's kind of neat.
It's kind of interesting how technology is going full circle.
So, Jeff, for the young ones listening to our podcast, what's an album? You gonna tell them that? No, I'm just kidding.
Google's your friend. Look it up.
On your smart speaker.
Ask the A lady. She'll tell you.
So I am curious, because this is all about smart devices, if we could go around, I guess, the virtual table, and let's hear about what smart devices you have in your home right now, and what do you like, what you don't like, maybe if you're on the market for a new one. We'll start with you, Andy.
Okay, so right now I don't have any. I'm in the market. I've got a pretty archaic thermostat. Thing is huge. But the problem is I can see the numbers, but I can't see how it programs. I certainly want something that I have a little bit more that I can do with it than having to rely on somebody else to set it up.
What you're saying is you want to be the master of your own domain.
There you go.
There you go.
So
Seinfeld reference.
Primarily, I'm just looking for a thermostat. Ceiling fans would be nice.
They make smart ceiling fans?
Yeah, they make.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be really cool.
Oh, yeah. They invented the ceiling fan right after the phonograph. When I was looking up the Google Home Hub, the GHH, they claim that it can connect up to 5,000 different devices. So that probably includes the phonographs and, well, let's see, what came out right after phonographs? Ceiling fans, Serina. So yeah, there's probably a smart gadget out there for pert near anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I when I was working with Apple, I got a guy that called in that was setting up a smart garage door opener.
Now, why do we need that? I really don't understand that. What, does it recognize your car when you drive up to it?
Well, when you have your smart Amazon Drive in your car, you can then just say open Sesame.
Oh my God.
Lower the drawbridge.
Secret passcode, right? I really don't understand what a smart garage door would do that a regular garage door, I mean, you push a button and it opens. How much do we, what else do we need it to do?
I mean, you have to actually move your arm to push the button.
And I get it because that, I mean, we laugh at how like lazy this is making us because we don't have to leave our couch to turn the light on or off or adjust the thermostat. But it truly does open up accessibility for tons and tons of people with disabilities that have mobility impairments or maybe even a cognitive impairment where it just makes a life a lot more independent and affordable. Or doing something like this would be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Now they can just get it right on the market, you know?
Or even just the simple fact that you either make some sort of adjustment cosmetically or what have you so that it can be used, or you stay reliant on somebody to help you with that. So having these smart devices, they are truly game changers. But for the rest of us, yeah, it makes us lazy.
As long as your Wi-Fi doesn't get knocked out. I mean,
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I was just thinking that. I was just about to say until somebody hacks it, then it'll drive you crazy.
one of the concerns I would be looking into is if I was going to get the Canary or the Home Safe alarm system that hooks up to your Wi-Fi and is a smart device, that just like the bridge and the hub, are these connected to just your Wi-Fi? Or if someone cuts your Wi-Fi cable, will it give you an alert through cellular or run off the cellular?
I believe that they do because actually my brother-in-law just made some changes. He gave up his business class Wi-Fi and went back to residential, and they bundled it all and got the security system. And yeah, if the Wi-Fi goes down, it then does go to cellular.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because we have a Honeywell Lyric. Like, we got it for free from our homeowners insurance company, and they gave us 4 of them. And what it is that you put it anywhere that there's water that could possibly leak, and it's connected to Wi-Fi, and then it also puts this obnoxious, loud beeping sound, A, when there's water that it detects, and B, just when the battery's dying.
So does it go onto the floor?
Well, you can do it 2 different ways. So we have one kind of on like the hose of our washer, and it's got this like cord that you can kind of wrap around it that if it detects the water, then it'll set off the alarm. Or you can just set it on the floor and you don't need the cord then. And as soon as it detects water, it'll start beeping and it'll send a notification to your phone. So when we changed our Wi-Fi, we never put them back on the new Wi-Fi because I frankly couldn't remember how to do it. But when we changed our router out and had to get a new Wi-Fi network put up, it sent emails to me saying like that they were offline. But that's really cool because like your hot water heater could be leaking for days and you never know. If ours is in the basement, we don't go down there, but maybe once a month.
Well, that's kind of neat. That's less invasive. There's a more invasive one that actually goes right into your plumbing system. You cut the line and you put this device in there and it'll notify you if the pressure drops. So if you're on vacation, your lines should have no open valves, so there should be a constant pressure. And if that pressure drops significantly, then it'll give you a signal and notify you that there's been a change, possibly a leak that could really devastate your home.
Yeah, that could save a lot of money. I mean, imagine if you came back from vacation and there were like 6 feet of water in your basement.
Swimming pool, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to somebody that they were out of town, but their son was there. He didn't realize it, but that there had been a leak. And so their basement flooded. And on top of it, they ended up with a like a $5,000 water bill. And that was within the course of like 3 weeks.
Oh my God, I would cry. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was it was pretty crazy.
Oh, wow. I think a lot of these devices, like you were saying, for someone that has a speech impediment of some sort or something, that there's alternative devices now that through your Wi-Fi, making the home smarter. We just usually think about these devices that we're using today, but a lot of these switches and commands that we're using are pretty versatile and available to other people. And like you said, it used to be tens of thousands of dollars to make a home accessible for someone with a disability that it may help them open a door or turn on lights, as you said. But now these devices are stuff we buy off the shelf. Like you can get the Hulu lights and dim your lights and do other things and the switches and put everything on a timer. My driveway lights, I have a Wemo light switch that my driveway lights come on when it gets dark, sunset, and goes off at a certain time. And then I have some lamps in the living room that come on at the same time and go off at the same time. I have 3 switches working like that, plug-in switches and 1 light switch. And I like that automation because kind of get it. You know, the lights come on. Oh, it's dark out, you know, if you can sense that. But if someone comes over, the house isn't just totally dark.
Well, and it's nice, especially, in today's society, you definitely want to have those lights on the outside. You don't want people creeping up on your house. I mean, for me, I look at the negative side of that just because it is real. You definitely want to make sure that you have some light so your house can be seen. And I think it detracts from people wanting to, do anything to it in a negative manner.
Mm-hmm. And plus, when you're away from home, when I was in England, I could actually turn the lights off or on just from a flick on my phone, from the app.
Right.
But something to remember about some of these home devices, it seems so great. Hey, just put a light switch in. But to put a light switch in with the Wemo and other ones, you do need all three wires there. You need your positive, your negative, and your neutral wire.
Right.
And typically a house that was built pre-90s, I believe, somewhere around there, switches were interrupters. So they only ran the hot wire down to one side and to the other. So when your switch is down, it breaks the connection. So a lot of houses either had them drop down from the ceiling or they came up from the basement. The switches were not the place to run all the wires. They ran those to the lights above and just dropped down the one. So that may be a problem if you want to add a light switch or a dimmer switch, but you will need to have all three there. And if you don't, then you have to have an electrician come in and run a neutral wire up and facilitate it that way. So that could get expensive. So
right. Well, it's good just to know that in general.
Oh, for sure. Thus, it might justify spending the money for a smart light bulb where you can control that specific light bulb or a group of light bulbs with a command from an app or a voice command directed at one of your personal devices, such as the Amazon, Google, Apple device, your smart speaker device. Another device that I'm kind of interested is the Look, or the Nest makes a product. A couple other people make these products. They're cameras on your doorbell. When motion happens at the front door, you'll get a message on your phone that says motion at front door. And that solves the problem of thinking, why do I need a camera at the front door? Well, camera does give the indication that there's motion, which then triggers the notification that you'll get. But these two need the existing wire that the previous doorbell used because they need a transformer. So that's something you want to look into. If you don't have a doorbell, then you'll have to install this pre-wiring beforehand. If you do have one, you have to make sure that it's 24 volts running to it because all these devices do need a power source to be running. So just beware, when you're thinking and considering and buying these products, read the small braille.
Love it. Small braille.
Oh, man. Isn't all the braille small?
Well, there is jumbo braille for people with neuropathy. So, Serina, what kind of devices are you working with?
I have a Wemo plug. One thing I wanted to share with you guys is that if you have Amazon Prime, there's been a few times just in the last few months where they've sent out a deal where you can get a smart plug or a smart light bulb for only $10. So we bought one when they did that, and sad to say, it's still sitting in the package because I need two, and I've just been too cheap to buy the second one for my lamps downstairs now. And it was summer when I bought them, so I was like, oh, we never need the lights on anyways. But now it gets dark at like 6:15, 6:30, and it'd be nice to be able to just go on my phone and turn them on or use the Echo to turn them on.
But yeah, I've noticed, and that's how I've got, I don't know why I'm coughing.
You're just getting too old over there.
Geez, we're sticking with this one.
See what happens when you tell me I'm getting fat?
I didn't say I know not to say stuff like that.
Would you like to share what you said?
I said you could grow into that Blind Abilities t-shirt.
No, you said I'm going to grow into it because of the shake that I
had. Why don't you tell the listeners what you put in your shake tonight?
Shameless plug for Five Guys Burgers and Fries. I had a shake and I added Oreo to it and Oreo cream and double stuffed Oreo. I see nothing wrong with that.
Plus some ice cream, right?
Milk, with sugar.
Yeah. So I'll repeat it. You'll probably grow into that t-shirt.
This is not helping you. You're going to get some hate mail from all the ladies out there.
And if anybody else would like to grow into a Blind Abilities t-shirt, email us at info@blindabilities.com.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Not very nice, Jeff.
But it is funny.
I'm telling my bestie on you.
So you do have the HomePod, right?
I do. And if anyone's ever listened to me on any podcast, they know I absolutely adore that HomePod.
Yeah. I hear it is good sound. So are the Sonos. The Sonos are pretty good. And, with the smart device built into those too. The thing is, with the API on those, since it's not a true Amazon device, you only get partial use of the full functionality of what you'll get out of an Amazon device, like the Dot or the Echo. Sometimes you forget that you only get that limited usage out of them. So I wonder how much the Facebook portal will have.
It's probably the same API that they have on the Sonos. Because Amazon's got to give you some reason to buy theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would you ever buy the Amazon one when the Sonos clearly sounds way better sound-wise? But there has to be some incentive.
Yeah, just be aware when you're buying these devices what they connect up with. Some connect up with more than one platform. It might connect up to Amazon or it might connect up to Apple, but just check that out. But with the HomeKit app in your iOS device, that application is your hub, your bridge. And that might be the thing of the future, using your Wi-Fi. Whereas the hub, it just may be...
I feel like it's another way for them to get you to spend
more money.
$100. With me, because I have the HomePod, I have the Amazon device. I'm trying to be smart about the devices that I choose, since we don't have a smart home yet, where either I can find some that work with both, or depending on where the device that I'm buying is going to be, it works with whatever is closest to it.
Definitely some strategy into it.
Yeah. One weird thing that I noticed when I did get the HomePod is for some reason, and I don't know if it's because of the way that Apple's system is so locked down, but the devices that say that they're compatible with HomeKit, they're never the ones like, they're always more expensive, it seems. Because like the ones that are compatible with the Amazon devices, there's so many of them that the price has come down on them. But then when you look at the ones that say HomeKit, it's like upwards of double the price for the same functionality.
And I'm guessing you're right that Apple is so locked down with everything that they do, and you don't have a lot of choice as you do with Amazon or Google. A lot of the coding and development and stuff that goes into all that stuff is open source. So, not to dog Google in any way, shape, or form by saying this, but their standards are more open than what you get with an Apple. And so I would venture to say that you're right on that.
When I first started down this path of adding smart switches and smart plugins outlets to the house, I went with Wemo and I stuck with it, and it seems to be doing good. And just lately, I got an update, and now the Wemo switches, the smart mini Wemo switches, are able to work with the HomeKit, which is the native app in your iOS device titled Home, Home. The new ones that you get, they'll have a little code on them and you just scan it and it'll register it right into your application of your HomeKit, and boom, there you go. And that is very similar to my Nest Protect, because all I did there was scan in the product and boom, it was connected up into my app, which makes it very nice. In the app, it does incorporate that these devices can now be synced up together. I have them synced up with my Amazon device, my Google device, my iPhone, so I can make my iPad, which stays at home basically, as the hub. So by me invoking the HomeKit as my hub, do I really need a Google Home Hub? Do I really need a central device? So I think I'm okay.
I guess if you look at it from most people's perspective, we want it with generally a handheld device. Let's face it. I mean, there's times that we're not going to be in our home and we want to be able to have that remote access, that remote control. I think that the hubs are a nice thought, but I don't know how realistic it is.
Serina, you had mentioned that you were considering a basement remodel. Have you thought about incorporating the smart home features?
It's kind of like it'd be nice kind of thing, but yeah, we haven't officially done that. All I really want in the house right now is a smart thermostat, because I really struggle with what temperature it is in the house.
Mm-hmm.
The house is only 2 years old. I meant to ask the builder if they could put in a smart one for me, and then I just spaced it, and I regret that. I really have to rethink it, because I know that my husband would like a doorbell camera at some point. So it's like, do we go with Ring? Do we go with Nest? Because I'd like it to just all be the same brand, just to make life easy.
Mm-hmm. I have a Nest Protect, and that's a smoke alarm that mounts to the ceiling. And if I buy another Nest Protect, they communicate with each other and announce their location. So in a case of emergency, you will know where the smoke is coming from.
Emergency. There's smoke downstairs.
And if I do get a Nest thermostat, that too will connect to the family of Nest products. And if there is a fire, it'll shut off the furnace so you don't have the air blowing around and flaming the fire. Flaming? Wafting the fire.
Good job. Your old brain worked.
Oh, it may not be as quick as a millennial, but it's wiser. So having items from the same family, the same Nest products in my situation, pays off for me. I would also like to mention that the Nest Protect, the smoke alarm that's in the ceiling, has a glowing light on it, and it comes on when it senses motion. So in the middle of the night, if you walk past it, it'll glow brighter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's a neat little feature that'll help family members as well. Serina, you mentioned the doorbell with the camera. Now, some people may say, why do I need a camera when I can't see who's out there? However, the camera senses motion, and then it'll send you a notification that there's motion at the front door.
That's very cool.
So I see the benefits in that as well. Now, a friend of mine, just to be fair, has the Honeywell thermostat.
And is the Honeywell app like accessible?
He says it is. However, he doesn't use VoiceOver, but he tested it and he says it is. So I haven't put it through the rigors, but it's $100 cheaper, and Honeywell is a good product. It has high ratings on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, being in the same family and they're interconnecting as such, I think Nest makes a good line of product that, really should be considered. Plus, Nest is owned by Google, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, all a conspiracy.
I have to say though, I'm kind of with Jeff on the whole, usually if I buy a brand, that's usually what I like to stick to and keep it consistent. And a lot of it, I think, has to do for me about what the previous experiences have been. If I bought something like a Samsung TV and it's worked well for me, I'm going to be more inclined to go back out and buy that same brand just because I've had that good experience and I trust it. I think too, part of it too is that, hey, if they can communicate with each other in some way, shape, or form, all the better.
Yeah, safety first. And that brings up home security systems in your house. That hooks up with a Wi-Fi from doors to windows. I'm starting to wonder how many devices you can have connected up to your Wi-Fi system before it becomes overweighted or strained. And that's probably where a hub comes in, because it would take that load. Until you get to that point, I think that's when you start wondering about a hub. I just want to use the apps that each thing comes with, set it up one time, and move on. I don't want to have to pull that out all the time and say, honey, let's set the mood lighting for this movie, or have all my Christmas lights on the iPad so I can, spill words or have special designs going across. That's not my bag. So I just want these devices to work out of their own app. I just think the HomeKit, the home app, will suffice for most people that are venturing into the smart home devices.
Well, because I think too, we all have this thing where we generally know like when we're going to be home and when we're not, unless you have something where you're out of the norm, you have a function that you're going to go to or what have you. Like in my house, I generally know who's going to be home when they're going to be home. So to be able to say, all right, yeah, let's have the heat come on at this time, have it shut off at this time, that kind of stuff is super convenient. Because like right now, I mean, it's one of those things where because I can't program it the way that I want, and my wife isn't able to program it. She's sighted. It's just an archaic thermostat. There's times like she'll say 8:30 at night, it's cold. I'll have to turn it up because it shut down when it really should have been on. There again, it'd be nice to have something where definitely have that control and be able to do that and know that it's going to be consistent.
Serina, do you want the Amazon bathroom where you walk in and the lights come on, the toilet seat heats up, and boom, music comes on and 6 sheets of toilet paper pop out?
If you can find a way to heat my floor in my bathroom, I'd be happy.
Oh, they have that.
I don't know if I need the toilet seat heat. I'm okay, But I was thinking about what you guys were talking about, and I was just thinking of just the cost savings with that, just the heat alone to save it. Because right now our heat's just either off or on. It's no, and then we all know the theory behind how long it takes to raise the heat so many degrees. It's more expensive than to keep it steady. But then there's also the cost savings of if you own your house. And especially with the smoke detectors that you have, Jeff, I'm sure you're saving money on your homeowner's insurance too.
Yeah, that's great, Serina, because if you contact your insurance company, you can find out so much more about what you could be doing to your house for safety-wise that will ultimately save you money in the insurance policy premium.
It'd be totally worth it.
Oh, yeah, you want to tell them you have a smoke alarm. Don't call them and tell them you don't have any.
What do you mean you didn't have one? Hold on a minute. We need to raise your premium a little bit.
Yeah. Back pay. It's just really nice that there's devices out there that we can implement into our lives. Like you said, Andy, just make it more convenient.
Right.
And especially the doorbell. I'm really intrigued about that, the camera. I was the one that would always say, why do I need a camera? I can't see, blah, blah, blah. but that it alerts you,
Well, and some of them have it where you can speak to them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And hear the sound.
That's a neat alert. You know someone's at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was just going to say, and they have no idea that you're not even home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get one before trick-or-treaters come out. This will be fun.
Scare them. Oh, my goodness. Well, and it'll especially help during the holiday season when you're expecting your Amazon packages. Because if there's sound with it, too, there's a pretty distinct noise when the UPS truck pulls up.
I think if you do it right, we should appeal to all the truck drivers that deliver packages to wear little bells on their shoes so we know it's them.
It's like a code. It reminds me, though, so I was watching Shark Tank a few weeks ago, and there was a business on there, and they didn't get a deal, but it was a smart device that, it was like a box that the driver would scan the code on the package, it'd open up the box, they'd put the package in there, and then it'd close back up again. They didn't get a deal for obvious reasons, because frankly, the UPS drivers probably aren't going to scan it. They're just going to sit the package on top of the box and keep going. But it did bring up an interesting thing, though. If they could have licensed that to like UPS or FedEx or USPS, like made it part of their flow, that could really curve like porch pirates.
So I got a question for you guys. What device isn't out there yet, but you would like to have a smart device as?
Oh, you know what I'm going to say, as my son always says when I ask him questions. I want my smart auto-driving, self-driving car.
That's coming.
But it's not accessible. There's too many laws.
Yeah, they'll probably have a little screen to open the door and it'll be like, everything's accessible, except you can't get in the door.
Yeah. You have to put in this passcode that's on this touchscreen.
They'll have a CAPTCHA.
God, I hate those things. And then you try to listen to it.
Oh, yeah. 4, 1, 7, 6, 7, 3, Apple, 2, Orange W. Yeah.
You're like, are you in a call center like doing this? I don't understand.
I know. It's crazy. It's like, gosh, I had good hearing until I heard that.
If you get you a tin can, that would sound so perfect.
Yeah.
I hate those things.
I was on a website today. I know this is off topic. I was on a website today. It was all about accessibility. And it's supposed to be an educational accessibility thing and all this stuff. It was really interesting. I was actually intrigued with the layout and stuff. And they had a CAPTCHA that was inaccessible. It's like, really? He did all this and now that.
Somebody did not think that through.
No.
Hashtag accessibility fail.
They have accessibility in their name.
Oh.
Did you send them an email?
No,
Wow.
I got off of it and I just sat there for a minute thinking, that's so stupid.
You didn't make your trademarked noise? Yep. Andy, what's the smart device that you're hoping for?
Wow. That could be plenty, but something that would open up my dryer and pull out my laundry and hang it up.
Oh, so you want the robot from the Jetsons.
There you go.
That'd be Judy, was it?
But just your luck, because wasn't George always getting like all his technology failing for him?
Yeah, she malfunctioned one day and like she did a bunch of different weird stuff that was all backwards.
I think for a device that I'm looking forward to, and I hope they have it someday, is really a personal assistant, but not a physical one that would actually do things for me. But you know how you think of to-do lists and you think of all this stuff? Something that follows your thought like that. So when you wake up the next day, it's like, Jeff, remember the garbage.
So you want a chip implanted in your head.
Just call it the thought bubble or something,
The thought bubble.
Yeah, an accessible thought bubble. Just like Lori told me 3 things yesterday. What was that? Jeff, you weren't listening, were you? I want that companion, that thing that actually helps me move along.
So Jeff, all you have to do is win the Powerball, and then you can just pay someone to follow you around for the rest of your life.
But I think this would help people. We're talking about old age, but people who have memory issues and stuff, and that seems to be a prominent thing in today's world. Everyone knows someone that might be going through it or someone that is affected by it. Something that could shadow you, your shadow, if your shadow could talk, it would remember.
So you want a smart shadow?
Yeah. Do you guys think that's far off?
Time-wise, maybe? I don't know. I mean, technology's so rapid. I mean, that anything's possible at any given point. I think for me, it's even pointless half the time for me to put stuff even as reminders because I just ignore them.
I'm the same way.
I mean, I do like for work and stuff. Obviously, I pay attention to my calendar and that sort of thing. But outside of that, I'll say, yeah, put it in my calendar. I'll do this, that, or the other. And it's like it's there, but 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna blow it off and ignore it anyway.
I have a reminder on my phone right now that's 19 days old, but I still didn't do it. Like, oh, I'll just ignore it and it'll pop back up in a couple weeks, you know.
Avoid shakes from Five Brothers.
Five Guys, get it right.
Avoid shakes from Five Guys.
You guys don't have Five Guys up in Minnesota?
No, we only got 3 guys. It's kind of, we're working on
You
it.
don't know what you're missing. You don't have Dutch Brothers. You don't have Five Guys. God, how do you live?
Well, you're in the fastest growing city in the United States right now.
It's because we've got all these millennials. They love it here.
Really?
That's why we're getting all these cool home delivery things. Like, we just got Prime Now here. We can get Whole Foods delivered in 2 hours for free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How big is Cold Spring?
Cold Spring.
Colorado Springs. How big is Colorado Springs?
The general city is like 400,000, but then you've got the surrounding areas that make up more, and we're probably closer to 650 to 700,000.
Really?
I think they said by like, do you remember what year it was, Andy? Maybe it was like 2050, which sounds far away, but it really isn't if you think about it. We would actually be bigger than Denver, technically.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous to think because when you go to Denver, you go to downtown Denver and you see like all the big high-rise buildings and stuff. And then you come to Colorado Springs and you look at our downtown, it's like no comparison. I think the highest building we have is like maybe 20 stories.
I don't even know if there's a 20-story one, honestly. If there is, then it's one of the hotels.
Which leads into, is Colorado Springs going to be a smart city?
I don't think we will, because just politically, like our city and then the other city, there's another small city that's kind of in between Denver and Colorado Springs called Castle Rock. Our 2 cities had the option to be part of the light rail system that's in Denver, and they refused. And every time that it comes back up, they keep resisting and keep refusing because they don't want light rail here for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah. Smart city means that you have to have some intelligence, and Colorado Springs operates on the motto, if it doesn't make sense, do it. So
Yeah, it's really neat here because we do have the light rail running right through Fridley, and it's kind of neat. And even our buses and our light rails now have Wi-Fi while you're on them.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're not a bustling city anymore, but it's a big area. I think 2/3 of the population of Minnesota is located right in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and the 7-county area. It's nice that you get those little amenities like that, but I always thought Colorado Springs was, it's not Denver, it's a quaint little town, but wow, #1 in the United States for growth.
Mm-hmm. Real estate, too.
and it's really been in just the last several years. It's just really kind of just took off.
Well, and a lot of it is the people from Denver have moved down here. So they're still making their Denver wages. And then so they moved down here and we're buying Colorado Springs waged houses. And then that's driving it all up. But then they're still commuting to Denver for work. So that's contributing to the traffic problems too. I mean, the commute's about an hour and 10 if you go early enough, you know.
Yeah, if you go early enough.
The need to get that tunnel.
I still want my Hyperloop.
That's ready to open up, isn't it?
No, there's a test track in LA. It's either 2 minutes or 2 miles. It's probably the same difference. But they're going to open that up and like let people test, like actually be able to test run it, like regular people.
As opposed to the irregular people.
Hey.
No, I think it's really neat that, smart cities are coming about. A lot of devices are happening, a lot of transportation things, like you want the car. And I think everyone's been thinking about that and dreaming about it and wondering. And they always say it's right around the corner, but that's a long ways to that corner sometimes.
It'll be interesting though, because you just told me the NFB conference next year is in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas is testing Lyft is testing a whole fleet of driverless vehicles on the strip there.
So beware.
So that would be interesting.
Stay off the sidewalks.
Yeah. Tap widely.
Well, but they're safer than human drivers, you guys. The accidents that they have are only when the human does something to it to cause it to happen.
Well, I think ideally it's all going to be safer when there's more and more of them, because they'll be able to communicate with each other, just like my Nest will be able to communicate with things. Those cars will communicate with the other cars, so it'll almost be like a light rail once you get a stream of them going, in a sense.
The only thing I worry about is because Obviously, to get where you're going, it's reliant upon some sort of GPS. So, you know, there's a couple things that go with that. So when the network's down, what happens to the cars? Or when you're like my house where you weren't on the GPS for 2 entire years, where does it go? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Does it stop somewhere and say you're there when you're really not? Those are things they'd have to definitely fix.
So from smart devices, smart houses, be interesting to learn more about smart cities and smart automobiles. And probably by next show, we could get a smart host.
I guess I'm coming down off my sugar hat.
She's thinking, I smell smoke. Is your nest going off, Jeff?
Maybe the Wi-Fi went down and the house is burning.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I could just see a comic right now where there's like a drawing and there's clearly smoke and fire, but the person's just looking at their phone and it says, they're like, nope, smoke detectors say that there's no fire, so. Well, I have had tons of fun talking with you guys. Hopefully we've got some ideas for our Christmas list, right, Jeff?
Mm-hmm. See, son.
Still haven't sold you on the HomePod, have I?
Well, I'm going to be eager to look under my tree, or I'll just listen under my tree. Maybe you'll tell her how to set it up, too.
But it's Apple. It just works, right?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I have to say that. I sit amongst an orchard of apples.
You've got every color apple there is.
Oh, by the way, what color is your iPhone 10?
Silver.
Space gray.
Gold.
You got a pink one, Jeff?
No, I didn't get
Gonna make fun of you.
rose gold. I got gold.
Are you sure you didn't get rose gold?
No, I don't know. I got the case on. I'll never know.
Exactly. And I just find it so funny with the last podcast we did, how much you guys specifically said, nope, I don't think I'm going to upgrade. And both of you did in like a week of each other.
I walked into the Apple store. That's what went wrong.
Yeah, no, I walked into the Sprint store with my son, and there we go. I have to run, guys. I do have an errand that I need to run.
That sounds awful suspicious considering that it's like 10 o'clock at night. Just saying.
Got to go to the pharmacy.
I don't even want to know, Andy. Anyways, I enjoyed talking with both of you guys, and I can't wait to record the next episode. And until next time, bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Dum-dum.
I want to thank you for listening. Be sure to follow Tech Abilities on Twitter, and that's at Abilities Tech. And a big thank you to Jeff Thompson for the beautiful music. And once again, I want to thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations
and the
reality
of
blind abilities.
The realities of blind
abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.